Hello and welcome to Crossing Bridges. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Mohammad Sheer Mohammadi, the president of Ad Space. Also, he's a marketing specialist who has done such a great job implementing many programs in his new business with many satisfied customers. Today, you will have an opportunity to learn more about Mohammad as far as his goals and objectives, how he went out to achieve them, and how he can be of service to you. At this time, it's my pleasure to welcome Mohammad to my show. Mohammad, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being on your show.
It's a pleasure to have you. I want you to give us a little bit about your background, if you'd be so kind. I have the pleasure of knowing you and your family, and to me, you are really blessed to have such a wonderful, God-given family. And of course, you are a young man who has truly achieved success in your life, and the future is completely wide open for you. But I want the viewing audience to know a little bit about your background, if you'd be so kind. So just tell me a little bit about your background.
Not a problem. You're far too kind. I personally was born and raised in California. My parents migrated here about 40 years ago, and they've been living in Southern California since. My father is a serial entrepreneur with many different kinds of businesses, and we come from a family that's really business oriented, and that's what we primarily focus on, and that's where I found my niche to go towards business.
How long have you been in this type of business from the standpoint of your dream that came true? Because you wanted to become originally a marketing specialist. Can
Right.
you expand on that basically as to what areas of marketing were you planning to pursue, and how did you come up with Ad Space business that you own right now?
Yeah, so about four and a half, 5 years ago, the economy was going down and our businesses were being hindered, my father's businesses, and it was at that point I was exposed to marketing and what it can do and the ability it has, especially internet marketing. So that's when I was first exposed, and I started studying the types of marketing that are available and that we could offer to people. And my first client was my father, in which we marketed his business, and we saw the tremendous growth after the marketing we did. And after so, we founded Ad Space Incorporated, and we started servicing clients in Southern California, especially Pasadena. Throughout that time, we worked with many different marketing specialists, but I myself, throughout that time, was going under Google certification programs and different marketing certification programs to have myself ready to take on more and more clients.
Yeah, expand on that. How did you go about basically, and what was the time duration for you to get certificates from each one of the organizations that you just mentioned?
Well, all in all, I could say this is an industry in which you always have to be up to date because it's constantly changing, because we work with search engines, and search engines have algorithms. And these algorithms are constantly changing, which requires us to always be on point. So from 4 years ago till now, as far as I can remember, we've always and constantly been up to date on what's happening, what's going to happen, what we should expect, and how we should adjust our marketing strategies for our clients to see optimal results.
I see. I've had the pleasure of having you handle my wife's website, and you have done a marvelous job. And I mean that sincerely, because I've dealt with a number of web designs in the past, but yours outdoes all the previous ones that I know. So what is it that about you personally that has that knack and ability to come up with such wonderful ideas and wonderful format that makes the client so pleased?
You're far too kind. What we do is our company has different teams. So for instance, we'll take an example such as your wife's website. What we first like to do is we'd like to analyze the market to see what's out there, what your competition's doing, and how we could make something better. Then we relay that information to our design team, where they start with a simple design and keep building on, and we keep in touch with our clients to make sure they're satisfied with the design that we had made for them. After so, we send it over to our development team, in which they develop and code that design and bring it to life. And that's when we deliver it to our clients.
I know you spend a lot of time with my wife, and you use her name because I want to really give you credit where the credit is due. And you spend a lot of time knowing her from the standpoint of her point of view, her desires, what type of business she's in, what she likes, what she doesn't like, and at the end, it's just like you created a baby that the person would really adore. And again, you have this knack about you, and I'm trying to have the audiences who are watching today, especially young people, to know how to go about establishing a business and what is really required. Is not just simply say, I'm going to open up a business and start it within you, and you suddenly put it together to have a successful ad space business now.
Right. So when we first started off, we started off with my father's, and I believe that was testing the waters for me, and the proof of concept was really important, where we proved that this is a concept in which we could grow. After doing so, I mean, certainly so, we've had many downfalls, many mistakes I've made in which we've learned from. However, learning from other people, reading a lot of books, educating myself, and surrounding myself with people who are really influential and helpful, such as yourself, have really been key factors in how we could direct our point of trajectory towards success.
What are some of ups and downs that you were faced with when you started AdSpace? Can you expand on that, please?
Yeah, of course. So in our company, the key factor is our team. And we've had many ups and downs with role players in our teams where they haven't been cooperative, their skills haven't been up to par. Their belief in customer satisfaction is the most important thing for us, was not there. So we had many problems with our team in which we were able to settle and establish a very solid team. Another problem in which we had was keeping the algorithm up to date so we could always enhance our clients and make sure that they never face any problems. Another thing was we wanted to secure all of our clients' servers and sites. For instance, there was a mass hack that was happening, and what we did was we secured your wife's site to ensure that no one could access her information. So these things came about, and we kind of learned it the hard way, but through it all, we were able to get through it. And
how do you go about protecting that? What method or techniques do you use, basically? Is it a general standard in a business that each website organizer or company uses, or you have your own technique different than others?
We have our own IT team. For instance, your wife is on our server, and our IT team is always monitoring our servers to ensure there's no threat.
I see. That's what it is, right?
Yes.
Now, how many do you have on your team right now that's are working with you?
Over here we have two bases, one in San Francisco and one in Los Angeles.
I see.
Over here in Los Angeles, we have about 16 people. They're all very talented. Most of them are graduated. All of our developers and marketers are all certified. But yeah.
And how many in San Francisco?
Not too big. We're about 11 at the moment up there.
How do you go about searching for clientele that suit your business, or can you handle really also any organization or any need?
We could handle any organization in need because we believe in this era, a website is needed for every person, every company. As far as marketing, what we like to do is I've had many people come to me personally and say, "Can you market my business?" In my eyes, we believe as a company that if we feel that we could help you grow, we will take on your project with happiness. We're more than happy to take that on. But if we feel like we can't help you grow, we won't take that project because we believe in long-term relationships. This is one of the reasons why I love this industry, is because if you make money, if I help you make money, that means I'm going to make my money off your success, which is good because it's a two-way street. We both go towards success.
Yes. The one thing that I really admire about you is your professionalism, your commitment, dedication, and timely manner of following up with different stages of your project, which is imperative in this business because I'm sure you agree there are much competition in your business.
Right.
And one of the most important things that you indicated is service. How do you train your other team members to follow your suit or have your mission statement followed to the T?
Good. That's a good point and good question. We have a lot of developers who are techies, who we like to call them techies. They're not too social, they're not too great with customers, which is why we have a customer service team who always communicates with the clients. In your case, I was the one communicating with your client. And we make sure the person who is in touch with our clients is capable of accommodating the client's needs and making sure they're satisfied and being there anytime they need them.
So when you said techie, you're talking about technicians. They're technicians, but not public oriented. Is that
Right,
correct?
right.
They're marketing oriented.
Right.
So public relations, right?
Right.
And that's where you come in because of your nice personality and how. And yeah, let's go back about your nice personality, because this is really true about the Sheer Mohammadi family. Each and every one of you, not only a professional in your own ways, but you're polite, respectful, dedicated, which I attribute a lot to your mom and dad. Can you please expand on that? That's really important, because people who are watching, they need to know Muhammad. You already have expanded on that, but I want him to say, this man that I'm watching really is what Nat Nadar is talking about. That's him. So I don't want people to believe that I'm kind of building you up for no reason. So please expand on that, what you're learning from your mom and dad.
Well, first things first, Mr. Nadar is always kind to us in relation to our family, and he's done many great things for us. But in our family, ever since I was a child, our parents have always been strict about our manners, being polite, making sure everyone is happy and no one's dissatisfied with us. And those are really some core values and core principles we do business off, we live our lives on, because if we're kind to people just like you're kind to many people and everyone loves you, you get the love back and you keep the love going, which is important.
Yeah, I want you to expand more. You're too kind, because that is really imperative, because I feel we are all products of the home environment. And the example is right seated to my right, you, Muhammad, because of what your parents trained you, developed you, loved you, cherished you, but at the same time set examples for you with respect and dignity, because I've seen how you interact with your mom and dad, both in front of them and away from them, is the same. And that is imperative for the young people today to understand that you just don't get up suddenly overnight and you become someone. You don't build something unless you have a foundation. And your foundation was already established a long time ago. And that's what I want, again, from your mouth, to expand on.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree with you on that. The home environment is everything. A person is built upon the environment they're surrounded by. And that starts off at the home at early stages. It's like a swordsmith, whoever's making a sword. While that metal is hot, while the steel is hot, in the home environment, you need to form and shape that sword, so that when later on it hardens up, it's ready for battle with the right angles and needs. That's very important and true, because the home environment shapes you and prepares you for the outside world. And I feel as though I was trained properly by my family to go out to battle, so to speak, in the outside world.
And I know for a fact your mom and dad are very proud of you. So am I. You have turned out to be a wonderful gentleman and doing a very successful business. What are some of the joys that you get from this business that you're in?
This business is just like my baby. I started it off, we were a couple of us, we started off, and it's started off with nothing. And to get something from here to here took a lot of effort and time. Time we could have gone out, time we could have fun. We dedicated all our time and efforts into this business to help it grow. And right now it's really like our baby, which is why it's really important for us to make sure it's constantly improving, getting better. And our business is based upon our clients, and that's why we really focus on customer satisfaction.
Were there times that you felt you're not going to succeed, but you're always focused on a positive side of your goals and objectives that you will succeed?
Yeah, of course. At the beginnings, especially when there was no clients, we weren't doing as well. Sometimes we would mess up. We were hacked once in the early stages 3 years ago, and it was just horrible. I told myself, no way. But then again, key factors such as my father, yourself, and different people who really inspired me, kept me going. And really, it's like a light at the end of the tunnel. You have to keep your eye on the prize and just keep grinding away at the work.
How would people get in touch with you, Muhammad?
They could contact our company.
And what is the phone number?
626-449-2222, or they could visit our website. in which we have our email and contact forms, which is
And give that.
adspacemarketing.com, ADSPACE marketing.com.
Now, when you meet a client for the first time, and I don't want to use my wife again, what are the things that you want the client basically to look for in you? That's very important, because if you perceive the client are going to be like interview you, and you have to be prepared for it. And again, I'm trying to ask this question because I really want the viewing audience and hopefully the young people to understand. And it's not something you say, I have a dream, and the next day your dream becomes a reality, because it takes time, dedication, hard work, working capital, positive side, negative sides, turmoil, so much in order to become successful. So what is it that you expect the customer or client to be seeking in you?
Yes, in the clients, when we work with our clients, the first thing we want them to, we don't want them to see this as an expense, rather an investment, a partnership. We want to hold each other's hands and go towards success and take their business. And one thing we like to distinguish about ourselves is that we like to educate the clients about what it is we do. It's not about just providing the service, because the era has changed from yellow book, yellow pages, newspaper ads to the internet, and it's our duty as certified advertisers to inform and educate our clients about what's going on, whether they work with us or not. We want them to be educated on what to do, what not to do, how to be successful.
Are any of your clients have businesses overseas or usually local market?
We have no clients overseas, but we do have clients in different states, Southern California, Northern California, but not overseas.
I see. So basically, any client that you have who has established business, say in Pasadena, and they're doing business in any parts of the United States, can have privilege to the website and utilize their marketing in that local area too?
Yes.
I see. And what does it require basically for them, for example, to expand their marketing into, for example, from here to Kansas City? Do you do advertisement for them or only on the website?
No. So what we do, the process in which we take is we sit with them. We like to first have a nice conference call and get to know them, get to know their business. And then we ask them for some time to conduct a market analysis report to see who's out there, what we need to do to get them to their end goal. Then we work on corporate identity or corporate branding, making sure they're well branded, well prepared, so to go out there. Then we develop their websites so that they're ready. The websites, their online presence and their online reputation. Then we market all of that to wherever they want to market it to, any targetable area in the United States.
What would you say to a young man who is sitting at home today and doesn't know what to do, but he's inspired by you talking about your success and what you have done? What would you tell that young man today, or a young lady basically, how to go about achieving their goals and objective, and don't be in despair and don't feel that they cannot achieve?
I believe that time is of the essence, time is valuable. So what I could recommend, and something I'm constantly reminding myself of, is time is valuable, time is gold. So every second we have should be used wisely, and research, study the market, whatever you want to do. Make sure you're not wasting your time, your money, and after that, it's all hard work.
Yeah. Now you said you went to a number of schools, so I called to get your certificate.
Right.
How would they go about, for example, to do Google certification?
For instance, Google certification is they have the textbook online, Google, not textbook, but they have about 600 pages of just different guidelines, regulations about the algorithm. They have all that online. They could go through that, read it. They have to take several tests. After doing so, they become certified in Google. Same thing with Bing and different organizations as well.
And they are certified through Google online?
Yes.
And you get a certificate coming through mail?
You could ask for that as well.
I see. And again, how many Google and AOL, and what else did you want?
Primarily online, we like to just focus on Google because everyone uses mostly Google.
I see.
But the alternative is Bing. But that's just for the marketing aspect. There's different things, such as development has about 8, 9 languages you need to be fluent in to develop anything the client wants.
I see.
So there's different types of programs and things you could learn for the learning outcomes, but Google is one of them, so is Bing for the marketing aspect of it.
Can you give us the address of your company, AdSpace, in
Of
Pasadena?
course.
Yeah, if you would be so kind.
We're located at 1188 East Colorado Boulevard. It's 2 blocks down from PCC and a few blocks away from Old Town Pasadena.
Okay, and once again, give us the phone number and the website, please.
626 449 2222, and the website is adspacemarketing.com. ADSPACE marketing.com.
Okay, now, who was truly in your mind instrumental in getting you going in your life from standpoint of your goals and objectives?
My father.
Your
hands
father.
down.
Yeah, I really would be disappointed if you said someone else, because knowing him, he's so inspirational, he's so upbeat, and he uplifts many people who come across him. So I'm really glad you said that.
Hands down, he's been very supportive. He's always been there pushing me, not only my father, my entire family.
Right,
so.
right. And he's very calm, he's very gracious, and really is a beautiful man. Now, let's talk about all the hard work and dedication that you are giving to your company. Do you have any time for yourself to have a little relaxation and little vacation here and there? If you have, tell us about it, please.
My vacations come about from if I'm meeting a client in San Francisco.
I see.
It's just a one-day thing I go there, but I usually take advantage of the opportunity and give myself another day on top of that to have fun there. Or there's not much, but since I am surrounded with a very good and friendly group, we're all friends, we're all very close, work doesn't feel like as stressful as it's supposed to be. It's very fun and a very good environment. So we don't feel stressed out or tired at all.
I see. How long does it take, in your perspective, professional learning, to do a website? Does it matter the size of the company, individual versus organization or a major company, time-wise?
To develop a website for them? Depends on the features, and we always say that as well. What kind of features the client wants, how it wants to be marketed. So everything depends on the features and what they're looking for from the website. But it usually takes anywhere from, you could do it as early as a week all the way up to a couple months. Okay.
If you remember a client that you had most challenge with, can you tell us a little bit about what was the challenges, what you got through, and how you succeeded?
I don't want to bring the client's name up.
Of course not.
But we had a dilemma where we developed the website for them, and what we were supposed to do is develop the website because we offer another service called content marketing, where we develop content for the client in very good literature. We just had this dilemma about how to integrate that content within their website because they were very picky to make sure everything's done properly. So that required us to go extensively and sit down with them and really have them elaborate on what they want, go back to the team, tell them, come back. So it had a lot of back and forth, but all in all, we were able to get through it, and they're satisfied at the moment as well.
Yeah, expand on basically once you establish a website for a company, organization, or individual, how is easy for you to add or delete at any time, basically, to the desire and the need of the individual or company?
There's a few things we do when we develop a website. One is we integrate it with a CMS platform, which stands for Content Management System.
I see.
And that allows the user or the customer himself or herself to make the edits herself, and or if they need help, we have a line, that same business line, where we always have a developer available to guide them and help them. And if they can't do it, we're more than happy to do it for our clients, free of cost.
I see. So basically, if they are in one business and they want to go do some other business, you can integrate both of them together on the same website or a new website.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I see. Now, what is the code? Do customers get a new code, a secret code that only they know, or is with combination with you and them?
We give them their own unique code, but our developer always has an admin code just in case. For instance, let's say you have a website, you can't do the edit or change yourself. We have our own code as well to access and do it for you.
Cost-wise, basically, are you competitive, basically? And as I know you indicated, basically, you put more emphasis on services that I know myself, on making sure you have a long-term relationship with the clientele, because that is really the name of the game. From referrals that you get from clientele, that's how most businesses remain in business.
Right.
How is your cost related to other companies, basically?
There's a few things that are important about our company, which I always elaborate and discuss to my clients is that one is we don't outsource our work overseas at the moment. So we're paying people here to do the work. We have a very small margin, and based off that, we try to keep it as competitive as possible. And sometimes we give our websites or advertising programs at our cost to keep them as a client. So when they do grow successful, then we could start working with them to start making money from them.
That's a wonderful, wonderful way to do business, because again, I believe myself, the more you give service to a client in business, the more they're satisfied and they're up to basically refer you, and that's how businesses remain success. What are your goals and objectives beyond this ad space right now, Mohammed?
At the moment right now, I do plan on going to law school along with my brother and sister, and hopefully in the very near future I would also like to get involved with the community and get involved with politics as well. At the same time, my primary objective as the CEO of AdSpace is to become the greatest advertising company in the United States.
That's great. Believe me, I'm sure you can become as successful as you wish, because you have the strength, you have the foundation, and you have the desire, and you're very sincere, honest, caring, and that's what is required in any business. Mohammed, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
And I wish you all the best of luck in the world, and I'll be seeing you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard about this handsome gentleman seated to my right, how he has achieved a truly wonderful business, AdSpace Pasadena. I've had the pleasure of doing